My name is Faith Kim. I'm 24 and I was born in Deerfield, Illinois. I grew up in a predominantly white school and I was probably one of two Asians in my grade. Kind of typical Midwest, a lot of cornfields, kind of country. Like from a young age, I didn't really know how I could be both Korean and American. And I remember when I was like in elementary school, we had a project where we outlined our bodies and then we colored in like our hair and our clothes and things like that. And I specifically remember coloring half of my hair blonde and the other half black because I didn't really understand how I could be both. And then just growing up, I didn't have a lot of other Korean American friends to relate to. I did feel kind of uncomfortable when people would make comments or they would just like try to make jokes, but it just didn't really sit well with me. But it was so normal in that environment that I thought that I was just overreacting, or I was thinking that that I was just being way too sensitive. But now that I look back, I realize that they're just like microaggressions and not really things that are okay to be said. So my parents immigrated from Korea when they were around like 12, 13 years old, and then grew up the rest of their childhood in the States and Canada. I learned English first, and then when I was about in middle school, I kind of got more into K-pop and K-dramas, and my mom would sit me down to do Rosetta Stone a lot. And now I would say that she speaks Korean to me, but I usually just speak English back. My dad was originally a psychologist, and then he ended up joining the Army, and he did that for probably about 12 to 15 years, going from the reserves to active duty and kind of back and forth. And so I was exposed to the military and that lifestyle, and he had a couple deployments. My brother is 4 years older than me. He's 28, and he is in the Army. So I knew about that, and I knew about the environment, and it always looked like so much fun, like from the outside looking in. But I remember telling myself when I was a freshman in high school that I was never going to join the military. As I became a junior and senior, I ended up going to their summer programs and ended up really liking the environment and the schools and everything that they had to offer, and just the different benefits like free school and a guaranteed job after I graduated. Those are pretty like important to me. And then being able to serve like my brother and my dad and kind of follow in their footsteps, I thought that that would be kind of cool. So I went to the Air Force Academy and I studied behavioral science, and now I'm in the Air Force as an officer and I'm in the cyber career field. I think I learned that it's important to be out of your comfort zone, because I grew up in a tiny school where I knew everyone from first grade till 12th grade, and I mean, the Air Force Academy isn't a huge school either, but definitely bigger than my graduating class of 75 people. I was immediately like not in my comfort zone the moment I got there, and you start with basic too, and people are yelling at you, and it's a whole new environment. So it was really scary, and but from that, I think it teaches, it taught me a lot about myself and like how I handle stress and how just like I interact with people. There's a good amount of Korean Americans there. And there's also like a Korean American group that would throw events and go on trips and things like that. Yeah, I think that I was able to be more comfortable in that environment because I also had people that related to my upbringing and I had things in common with. After meeting and becoming really close with one of my best friends now, Michelle, who's another Korean American, I just kind of really loved the way that she embraces that aspect of her identity. My mom, she started a business with her brother doing education consulting. So they would bring like international students to the States and help them go through high school and like apply to colleges. My mom and I were able to bond over K-dramas. Like we would both like sit down on the couch and watch them together. But also like our trips to Korea, because they're usually just like family trips. And so it was a time where we were able to spend like good quality time together. To me, it means being able to experience and appreciate both sides of my upbringing. Being able to appreciate and learn what my parents went through and what their lives were like, while also relating it to mine, and growing up in the States. A really important lesson that I learned was to not sell myself short. I think for a while I'd always kind of doubt myself and not put myself out there or try new things because I was always scared. And I think that really hindered me, and it took me a while to learn that I am able to do a lot of things and like build that confidence in myself. Just don't doubt yourself, because you're capable of a lot of great things, and if you just put your mind to it and put in the work, I think that you'll be surprised at how much you're able to accomplish. My name is Faith Kim, and this is my Korean American story.